So the first video on this YouTube channel was supposed to be about me and about what this channel is going to be about and what's coming up, but I'm going to move that all to the next video, because as you can see in the thumbnail, I've got a client, Claire, who's done absolutely amazingly well. I mean, how do you go from that to that? How do you go from that to that? And I mean, how do you go from that to that? Well, we went through and sat down there, went into her home, and we got a wee interview together. So let's go and see what she had to say.
So from my heaviest till now, it would be about 3 years. I was going on holiday with my friends. Now, anybody who knows me knows I'm quite happy, like, I'm always laughing, joking, whatever. Actually, you'd probably just call me the fat, happy friend, because that's pretty much what I was. We were going on holiday and I had an anxiety attack because I thought I wasn't going to fit in the plane seat, and that's just not me. I totally freaked out. I was like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to fit in this plane seat. The seatbelt is not going to go around me, it's going to be awful, everyone's going to be looking at me. I literally thought I was going to pass out here. I've thought about this a lot. I think there's been loads of contributing factors. Obviously eating's the main one, and if you want to take one thing away from it, if you eat more calories than you expend, you're going to put on weight. So that ideally is the solution. My self-esteem was so low, to be honest. If you'd met me or you knew me, obviously like Martin didn't know me at that point, but if you were to speak to people around me, I wouldn't necessarily say they would think that. They would probably think that I was really self-confident, I was outgoing. In every other part of my life I succeeded. Even what I would normally do is I would try and eat as well as I could, to be honest, during the week, and see at the weekend, it was insane. I would go out every Saturday night, I would drink all my calories that I'd probably done well with during the week, and then after that you're going to add your takeaways, your kebabs, and then you've got your hangover. And I would just binge eat. I would just try and not eat at all, and then I would just eat and eat and eat and eat, and I wouldn't stop, and I would hate myself, and I would cry, and I don't cry. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't cry, but I'd cry so much because I'd be so annoyed at myself. I'd feel like I'd let myself down. So what I would do is I would get up every morning before work at 4:30. I would cycle to the gym. I would do the classic never been in a gym before. I'd go on a treadmill and I would just run for an hour and a half solid. Literally, I don't know how my body did not give up. I'm not joking, because see, trying to run at that weight, it's quite difficult, but I just kept going. You need to keep doing this, you have to visualise the goal. So after that, I would then go to work. Then after I'd go to work, I'd finish at 5. I would then go back to the gym, I would go to a spin class, and then I would go and run again for about an hour. And then after that, I would go home and I would eat. I would eat so lots of food, but it was all low fat, classic low fat, carb loaded. So one of my friends, Megan, trained with Martin, and I could see the difference that she was making. I kind of knew I was hitting I thought, and we'll speak about this later, that I was hitting a kind of standstill because I wasn't losing any more weight. And then Megan had joined my gym, so me and Megan were kind of on the same journey. And we started training together, and she mentioned that she trained with Martin, and I was like, oh right, okay, well I was maybe thinking about getting a coach, this, that, this, and her words to me were, well that's fine, I can recommend you to Martin if you want, but he'll not take on anyone that's full of bullshit and is not going to put 100% effort in, so if I recommend you, you better be ready for the shitstorm that's coming. And I was like, right, that's cool, alright, I says put my name in, because me and Megan at that point hadn't really known each other that long. And then obviously myself and Martin had the conversations, to which, to his benefit, to be fair, he tried to put me off so badly, and I was having none of it. I was like, no, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm sure he thought I was probably full of shit, because after I started speaking to Martin, obviously we got kind of like a baseline figure of what I'd been doing and stuff. Now when I think about it, I'm like, oh my lord, what were you actually doing? We started doing weightlifting. I had actually, I haven't said prior to that, kind of half started doing weightlifting, so I had a little bit of an understanding, but I didn't really understand how it worked. But the big part really was the nutrition part. So basically we worked together towards learning how to eat your macros, or basically in the beginning it would have been calories, like you just need to hit these calories and that's all I'm asking you to do, which was really helpful. And that was the main change. We split it up. I wasn't doing cardio 24,000 times a day, so we worked out a program where I did cardio and I did weightlifting, so I had an even balance. And obviously I had I was going to say balanced meal plan, but I didn't, because anybody who's going to give you a balanced meal plan is not on your side. Somebody who's going to educate you on how to eat and how to get your macros correct is, and that's what we worked together with, and that was the main change. So after I met you, know, it's quite funny, because now when I think about it, the first thing that people ask me is that all you eat, chicken and broccoli? And honestly, one of the questions and one of the shocked faces I get a lot of work if people come in and see me at my lunch are like, how are you eating all that? And my response always is, I make good choices and I fit it into my calories. I eat whatever I want, it just needs to fit within my calorie limits. Probably the biggest thing for me is that I've learned to love myself, and it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks of you. There's a really good African proverb that basically says that if there's no enemy within, the enemy out with can't hurt you. That's probably one of the things that I've read that really got to me, because I would always have suppressed so much that I was happy, I was this, I was that, I was fine, and I could do all the things that I wanted to do, and I did. And to this day, I still stand by that. No matter what weight I was, if somebody told me I wasn't going to do it, I would still go and do it. But I just didn't love myself, I didn't like myself, hated looking at myself, had no mirrors, I had nothing. Now, if somebody was to go to me, I think you're ugly, I'd be like, go fuck yourself, don't give a shit. So the main thing is that I actually don't care. And I think a lot of people might sit here and expect me to answer that, oh, I can wear a size 8 clothes, or I can walk down the street in a sleeveless top. But actually it's not. It's that I don't care what everybody else thinks. And because I don't care what everybody else thinks and I love myself, I can help other people in that position. So yeah, the weight loss is a massive, massive thing for me. Don't get me wrong, because I spent hours and hours crying about it, thinking about it, wanting to be skinny, which by the way I don't advocate at all. It's not about being skinny, it's about being healthy and strong. But for me, I just wanted to actually look at a picture of myself and not want to spew. Okay. So obviously everybody who sees me, because I love a picture on Instagram, will notice that I post pictures and I have a big massive scar. To be honest, I could edit it out if I wanted to edit it out, but I don't edit it out because I don't actually filter. Like I don't know what you would call it, I don't change my pictures and how I look. So I do have a scar, I do have stretch marks. So before obviously I met Martin, I've spoken about how I used to just do all that cardio, okay? And then I just completely changed my eating habits. For the 12 months previous to when I met Martin, when I just did all the cardio, obviously I'd made a big massive lifestyle change, so my body was like, ooh, what's going on? So I was dropping weight left, right and centre, and do you know what, that felt good. There were some weeks I was losing like 6, 7, 8 pounds. I was like, this is ace. The offset to that is, prior to that, obviously, because I had an eating disorder, done so many crash diets, my skin was screwed. It has no elasticity or stretchiness or whatever you want to call it left in it. So a mass of excess skin. So I had no choice. I went and got it removed. I'll not lie, I got it surgically removed. I got it removed by a private surgeon. I paid for it myself. I worked hard for that. I got called lazy. I got called everything in that, everything online. Oh, she just couldn't even be bothered to lose weight, so she went and had an operation, or you know, she's just a bad example to women, this, that, this. Actually, if you took time to know me and actually read the story, I'd already lost all that weight. There is literally nothing that I could have done to get rid of that. That was 14 pounds of dead skin. So I'd worked so hard. Was I going to sit there and just go, oh, it's fine, I'm just going to live with this? Or was I going to make a difference and save up and change it? And I thought, do you know what? Nah, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to go and get it done. So whether people think that's right or wrong, I actually don't give a fuck. Because my main bit of advice would be, don't be afraid to fail. To be honest, if you're going to start, you're probably at some point going to fail, because it's new, and as humans we're pre-programmed to have habits. We just do the same thing all the time because it's comfortable. We don't want to go outside our comfort zone. we can't be bothered to make the effort, but it's alright to fail, because every time you fail you've learned something and you can start again. Don't wait for the ideal situation. Oh my lord, honestly, the amount of times that I would be sitting there on a Saturday night being like, I'll start next week, it's fine, I'll start next week, I'll start next week. There's never going to be an ideal time. Something is always going to go wrong in your life, because that's what happens. That is fucking life. Shit happens. Start. If you do have obviously the ability to get a coach, I think it is an amazing thing to do. I've still got Martin as my coach. I will continue to keep him, because you know what, it is so good when you've got somebody to hold yourself accountable for. Lots of different ways you can achieve the physique that you want to achieve. If you're a beginner, you need to get a coach to help you with that. One, because you need to educate yourself on how to lift the weight, because oh my lord, see, when I look back at videos now and look at myself and think, I'm surprised I've not slipped every single desk here. Until you want to change, you will not change.
Right, so there you go. I'm sure you'll agree that she's done absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link all of Claire's social media stuff in the description down below in this YouTube channel. She's very active on things like Instagram and stuff, so if you want to follow her journey along, because it's not over, just go and click on them and it'll take you straight to her social media. So there's a couple of takeaways from it. Again, you can take a lot of things from it, but what I would take away from it personally, that it wasn't just chicken and rice that she was eating, and it was a big misconception. A lot of people think, oh, it must be chicken and rice and minimal calories, and it's not. You can actually eat chocolate and lose weight. You can actually eat any food that you want and still lose weight, as long as you control calories, and that's the message I would like for anybody to take away here. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you don't mind, leave a wee subscribe, because there's a lot more real proper videos to come, but I just wanted to get this one out there.
Oh,